Concept office hours. These will be, I am Victor Fernandez de Alba. I will be your host today. And yeah, this is the first one, as I said. Treat this as a little experiment, so don't be hard on us. The goal today is that we talk about the upcoming Plone 7 and specifically, I will want to talk about the new editor that we are building in Plone 7. I'd like, the idea of these office hours are that there are very interactive sessions. So I will have a look, or we will have an eye on the chat, on the YouTube chat. And yeah, then everything that you want to ask, just please do, and I will try. I will try to answer questions. Yeah, and maybe yeah. Allow me only to have a little bit of accommodation because, as I said, the platform is new for us. Is kind of, as I said, an experiment. So let's see how it goes. Okay. I looking at, so this is the chat of YouTube, right? So we don't need, I don't need to open it. Fine, because now, as I said, accommodating and getting used to the interface. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So Timo is asking, why is the reason we need a new editor? So let's start with that. Yes. Thanks. Well, we've been quite successful on building the Volto editor, the blocks. When I'm talking about the editor, we're of course talking about the blocks editor, as in the one that we can build rich pages using blocks, using Volto blocks. And we built that editor tailoring our needs. Back in the day, we've been evolving this editor through the last 8 years already. But we hit some UX, I won't say problems, but things that could be improved, right? And we've been, as I said, giving the feedback that we got from clients and from other members and of the community, companies and everything. I mean, everybody, the truth is that everybody, all the clients are very happy with the editor and the things that they can accomplish with it. But we thought that we could do better, right? And then when we started to think about what kind of editor or what we will improve in Plone 7 from the current state, the current Volto editor, then we put it on a list, right? And then, okay, yeah, maybe we will like something more near the experience that you have with the Google Docs or with any other editor experience that you have today, like, I don't know, the native Apple Pages or Microsoft Word, whatever you have in mind, or whatever, which is the editor of your choice nowadays. Also, we liked a lot the GitHub editor and also the GitLab editor and how they combine Markdown, and while you're editing and things like that. And we wanted to bring all these more small things or small ideas into Plone editor, right? Into the Plone 6 Volto editor. And yeah, we started to fiddling with this. I think it was for the first time, it was in Bucharest last year, the Bucharest sprint that took place in there last year. And we've been also brainstorming about how to do that. And we were aware of a new editor, right? That was in the wild out there, open source. It has a lot of traction in the Next.js ecosystem. It's called Plate.js, right? And this editor is based on the editor, the rich text editor that we are already using it in Volto, in Plone nowadays in the blocks editor. It's the foundation of the text slate block that we use there. And that has a lot of advantages. So because we thought that it will be a great opportunity to try to integrate these editors, which is not, it won't be a new editor because we in the Plum community we have long list of editors that have come and passed through Plone, starting with previous versions, Kupu, TinyMC, blah, 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 blah. It won't be a new one because it's based on Slate. So we are not really changing what's below that. So what's the data model that we are saving already in Volto and in Plone 6. But it's an evolution of the Slate. It builds on Slate, and then it adds a better API. It's all TypeScript based. It has a gazillion of plugins, community maintained. It has a lot of integrations that we can mention them later. And we thought that it could be a good opportunity of using it. Yeah, yeah. That's the summary about why are we trying something new in Plum 7, right? Yeah, let me read. So Timo says also things that come to my mind that we want to improve. Copy pasting content in the current editor is okay, but it's not great and not user friendly. Dragging and dropping could also be improved. And having separated blocks is great for complex page composition, but less great if you are writing simple documents like in an intranet. And that's very true. I mean, these are three of the things that we had in mind, right? One of the things that, so continuing a little bit with the story and how it evolved, we were thinking in the first place that we could directly replace the current Slate block with a plate block and with multiple of them. So I don't know if you are aware of, but the current block editor in Plone 6 in Volto, it slices every block and every rich text block into paragraphs. So we have a multi-block data structure. And then we iterate over it, then we render it, we edit it, whatever. We thought that, well, the thing is that this shape forces us to have the block separated into logical pieces, and that makes it extremely complex to edit them in a unified way, like you would expect with a normal editor. And that was a drawback, as I said. We had some issues, drawbacks that we wanted to improve. And as Timo said, when you are in an intranet, you don't want to deal with this multi-block thingy. You normally are writing a document that resembles a lot a Word document or a Google Docs document, right? And you want a stream of text or a rich text and not having to deal with this multi-block thingy, right? And that's where it led us to think that we could do better. And instead of saving or using a multi-block approach, we could use a single plate approach where our blocks are native plate blocks. So plate can deal with them. In one word, that plate could substitute completely our Plone Volto block editor. And as I said, from now on, Plate will be our default block editor, and all the Plone blocks and the Plate blocks will coexist in the same single editor. And we were evolving this, and to the point that we have today a POC that I'd like to show you. And but before going that, maybe I will also answer a few more. Oh, lots of comments. Performance compared to the old editor. This is one that is easy to say because one of the issues and the drawbacks that we had before is that in pages that had a lot of blocks, the perceived performance from the user was degraded rapidly, especially if you didn't have or didn't have a fast machine, right? And these were very concerning. And the fact is that having only a single plate editor is far better for performance because you only have to draw one editor in the screen, while in Plone Volto you have to render multiple of them, each of them with its own instantiation code and shared memory, right? So in this case, we are better than before. Yeah. What else? Also, what does it mean for existing projects? Will the migration process be time consuming? No, it won't, because we are devising or designing a migration experience that will be on runtime. And in fact, the page that you will see in a moment is the default coming from Plone that have a multi-slate block shape already, but Plone 7 on runtime in the node side, in the server side, is migrating this content on the fly, and it's serving the migrated content already to the client. So the client is seeing the normal single plate shape that will be saved afterwards you save the code. And this is already in place. Of course, it needs a lot of testing and battle testing, uh, but it's there. I mean, and it runs. We improved the shape of the migrations in during the last Bucharest sprint 3 weeks ago. So it's even pluggable. So if you have your own block that has your own specificities and needs in migration, on the migration side, you can build your own method that deals with it and add it to the machinery of this migration, because it's built with Plone registry utilities. So you can add your own utility, register it, and then the process will go through all the utilities applied in order. So we even have think into that, and it's working already in place. Yeah. Tell me. Yeah, I mean, the voice from above is reminding me that you should subscribe and like, uh, yeah, to the channel and this this session. What else? Let's continue. In the current editor, there are some edge cases with bullet list, copy paste. Yeah, I mean, yeah, something that people is bringing up. Copy pastes. This is taken care very carefully in Plate itself, and we can improve the parsers that are already in place. So Plate has stock parsers for Markdown, for HTML, and for, I don't know, also for Word thingies, XML, whatever thingy that it's out there. But we can. The good thing is that we can improve them, because the Plate plugin architecture, you can build your own parsers that goes after the ones that are in place already. So yeah, I mean, we are able to do so, and it's very. They are very good. I can tell you this, and already from scratch, with the open source version. And yeah, again, one thing less that we will have to maintain, because in Plone Volto we were maintaining those parsers, and they had bugs, of course. I mean, and this is yet one thing that it will be better. Right. Uh, what else? Yeah, let's go for the demo then. I am sharing my screen. I'm not sure of that. I am now. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. So this is local instance, but this is almost because I changed something just before the session to fix a font problem. But it is what it's in the branch, in the 7 branch already today. So you can try it today if you want. The 7 branch is in the Volto repo. It's in here. Just pull it out and follow instructions. We also have some documentation in place for Volto. It's not here. It should be. No, sorry, for 7. It's in here. Yeah. This is the documentation. It's called volto.readthedocs.io 7. And this is already the documentation tailored for 7 as far as we have it. So, I mean, it's not the whole Volto documentation. It's not the whole Plone 7 documentation, but it's something. And the good thing is to get started, system requirements, and create a package, seeing it works. So you could have a 7 site today with this, using this documentation and using cookie Plone, which already supports 7, generate your cookie Plone, a scaffold for it, and then run it as the instruction says. For example, we have 7.demo.plone.org in place. It's not using the version that I will show you today, but it will very soon. Also, another 7 site is my 7 site implementation. It is my block, right? And on render, as you can say, it just works and it renders correctly. So yeah, as I said, there's a lot of things to polish. Let me do this disclaimer now before demoing anything. Lots of things to polish. The stylings are barely in place. We are working on that. It will be next, in fact. Lots of things are not set in stone whatsoever, right? And we are experimenting with things. And then the final shape we will see when we release Plone 7. So this is the rendering. This is a normal Plone site, Plone backend with Plone Volto on it, and the default content, as you could see in here. And this content you are seeing right now, it already has the single editor shape. So it's being transformed runtime and given to the renderer in the right correct data model. So it renders as it should be. I've logged in already. Let's do it now if not, but yeah, it should be there. So then let's edit, and this is the edit route. So the edit route, as you could see, is the same as before, but you can edit. You can edit the title, right? And you can continue creating text blocks in here. The editor sports, it works the same as the Volto editor. It allows you to do add marks and yeah, things like that, right? Add links. For now, the link plugin is still very raw. It only allows you to paste a normal link, but we are working already in the version that will also be able to browse things in the site. Another nice tip from Plate already is that you can let me grab something in here. Yeah, like this. You can add a code block, for example. Code block. Oh, why it's off? I fixed this just before coming. What the heck? Okay. Anyway, yeah, maybe it's lacking a little bit of by default margin, but yeah, you can say this is TypeScript and what? Okay. Why is not working? Let me reload it because it should be working. That's weird. Okay, demo issues. Anyways, yeah, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. As the voice from above is telling me that we need help with Plone 7 and with the implementation of 7. So one of the reasonings that we are showing, and we want to showcase what we did so far during last year's sprints, is that 7 is not going to be built on its own, right? I mean, we need hands. We need people who believes that this is the way of going, not only in the editor but also in the evolution of Volto, being 7, the evolution of Volto. We need hands for refactoring things. The good thing is that 7 is already in a shape that you are able to build things on the top already, meaning that we have the code because we implemented it once in Volto. The good thing is that the Volto code is React, and we are not dealing with another language or framework. We are dealing also with React in 7, and the vast majority of things can be refactored easily into 7. Meaning, if you want to build a control panel, you will build it the same way that you built the Volta one, and you will transfer probably the most of the code to 7, and then you will build that control panel of 7. Same for widgets, same for views, same for blocks. And also another good thing is that you can instruct an agent to do that for you easily. I mean, and make no mistake. I mean, it's so easy. It's if especially both things are TypeScript or not also, because really, I mean, I have had experiences with that, that you ask an agent and you explain the agent all what I explained to you. Okay, yeah, Volta uses Redux. 7 doesn't use Redux, but we have this data querying based on React Router 7. Transform the Redux action to a React Router 7 route, and then drill down the data from the loader. Then you instruct all these things and you teach the thing how it works. And then it's very, very easy that it does it without you even having to intervene, right? And yeah, but only reviewing the final code. So it's not that is a huge thing that we have in front of us, and you can already see that the things are working, right? I mean, yeah. So we have only to fill in the blanks, and yes, we have now kind of Gruyere cheese as the code base. But the good thing is that everything's settled, and that's the thing that brightens, and that I am sure that we could make Plone 7 happen in the next year, for example. And yeah, as I said, help are welcome. Attend sprints or make PRs. I mean, yeah, everything's valid. You can do that. Help us doing achieving that. Uh, yeah, and I think that's it for that. Let me see the question. How is the state of Volta blocks in this new editor? Can you show it in the demo? Sure, I can. This was the next thing I wanted to show. But it bugs me that it doesn't work as, as you could imagine, right? Let me restart things. I'll need to make sure that we are in the good place. Okay, let me reload this. Da-da-dum. But I will show you. So what we did in plate before it loads. All right. Okay. Log out. I will show now the login. Log out. Okay, go away. I'll show the login. This is the login form that we have so far. We are logged in now. Let's edit it. Okay, let's see if now it's better. Okay, we have the slash command, right? Like we have in Plone Volto, we have slash command. We can narrow what we are searching. For example, let's say we are looking for a teaser, right? And then it allows us to choose the teaser. But we have the text blocks, which are plate native blocks. And as you can see, there is a text, headings, bullet list, to-do list, thing that is called a toggle, which is another list. But if you click, then you collapse and uncollapse things. You have the code block, which the demo didn't go well, but it's very impressive. Callouts and block quotes, and you can write also native plate blocks for your sites as well. We have some advanced blocks. These are also plate blocks, the table of contents and the three columns. It's experimental, and we don't know if we will use the three columns thingy yet in the final shape, but it's in plate, it's in there. We are leaving it just for experimentation. And then we have the 7 blocks, because for now we only have these 4 blocks in 7. And as you could see, there is even some are even missing the icon. But anyways, we have the image block, the teaser, the video, and the listing in 7 so far. And you can select them from here. Let's add a teaser. So you have a teaser. Again, forget the styling and the position and everything, but you can already choose one element, and it will be teased here, right? So let me do one thing before doing. I will open a local Volto instance pointing to the same instance, because what happens? I want to create a new object, but as you could see, we still don't have the add form in place. I mean, in fact, it's something that Piero was working these during the last the last sprint in Bucharest, but we still don't have the ability of create new content from 7. But as I said, it's a matter of just pulling the add form from 7 and make it work as well. Okay, let's go to localhost. Instead of 300, I put it in 4000. We have the same site in there, and we are creating a page. Let's call it a page. Let's save. Oh yeah, let's add a preview image in there. Oh yeah, right. This normal Volto site. I will create an image first. I will choose this one, save, okay, page, edit, preview image. Let's choose it as a preview image. Okay, then let's return to 7 and let's go to home. Why are not showing? Ah, yeah, sure. You're not showing because you're in private. Okay. Let's create another teaser. Let's browse, and now we have the page in here. I mean, we selected, we have a teaser, still without styling, but this is a normal Volto teaser. Now it's a 7 teaser, and you have here the sidebar. The sidebar, we open and close it from this handle in here, but we can modify the same way that we do in Volto. The head title, we can add a head title, we can add a description, and we can override the image as well. As I said, there are still some things missing. One of the things is that the booleans show the label, but again, it's we need people to jump in and help, so we can have this as soon as possible, right? And also the whole styling of the sidebar is missing. But yeah, it's already there. It's working, and that's the important thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is, man, I don't know which joke do you want me to do. Yeah, the voice from above tells me, yeah, that right now, once Red Turtle gave us all the nice T-shirts in Finland. I mean, we cannot stop wearing them, and this is a problem. But yeah, I mean, they are very nice. Thank you for them, and we really love their T-shirts, and we love them, of course, also not only for the T-shirts. Yeah, the. Yeah, let's continue with this. But you grab the idea, okay? So we have normal Plone blocks that are proxied. In fact, yeah, it's what's happening. I mean, it's still they are still blocks as we know them, right? And this is also very important. We are not changing APIs. We're not changing how you build a block in Plone. The API will continue to be the same. We'll have the same props, but what Plate will do is that it has a plugin that wraps all the blocks that are registered in your site and then adapts the props to match Plate's API. So as I said, you don't have to do anything. It will work right away. And in fact, we had the teaser before we had the Plate plugin, and it was just plugged in and it worked because, yeah, this wrapper is transforming and adapting from one API to another. And then that's it. I mean, it will be it. When migrating blocks, it will happen kind of the same. So you have a Bolto block in the data in a page. Then the migration will take a look at this Plone block, and it will move the data where it belongs inside the slate, the single slate values, which is in the root of the slate node that it represents. And that's it. It's not rocket science. It's just moving things around. Question: can you drag and drop this teaser block? Um, Plate allows you to do drag and drop, and it does it very much the same. Like, I don't know if you are used to Notion. So it has a handle in here, and then you can drop every single thing. But I think, or we think that what people is really used to is, again, to use it like a normal editor. Normal as in single page editor, text editor, right? So what you will do if you want to move this chunk of data below, so you will do cut and you will do paste, right? I mean, how anything else in the world can be better of this? So everybody knows to do this. Everybody knows to cut a piece of text or a piece of content and paste it somewhere else, even using the shortcuts or using the menu. Why we have to rely on a thing that is drag and drop, that if the page is long, you had a lot of content in there, it's clunky, it's not reliable, then you try to move something, then the drop place is not correctly grabbed, then you have to start over again. I mean, you cannot beat cut and paste, copy paste. And this happened, and we did it for with a teaser block. You can do it with any block that you have at hand or any piece of content. I mean, anything can beat this. So yes, you can have drag and drop on every single item of Plate, but we remove the plugin. I mean, you can enable it again, but so far I don't think that we will need it. Again, things to be shown, and we have still to think about a lot of things. And now that I am in here selecting things, Plate allows you to do what you're seeing now. I mean, not only it allows you to select the content like that, but it also allows you, I don't know if I will be able to trigger. Yeah, here, you see, I am selecting specific blocks as a block, right? And then I can do things with that. It still needs to be adjusted, especially for Plone blocks, but you can also do that. So selecting only inside or selecting as a block, as you can see now, right? And this is another nice thing that we can have. What else? What else? Since Place.js moves from independent blocks to a unified content tree, how does this affect or will affect theming compatibility? Theming will work still the same. We are taking special attention to that. Piero and I, we've been talking about this thing during the Bucharest sprint, and I think we got into the right direction. In the CMS UI, you will have the edit route is CMS UI, right? And one of the things that we are taking very serious is that this separation of concerns about public UI and CMS UI, right? Then the CMS UI will load the CMS UI CSS, but in special places, and these special places, the editor, we will also load the public UI, meaning that you will have both things at the same time just in the editor, so it doesn't leak anywhere else. And that means that everything that you used in your theme, whatever thing it is, it will not leak, but it will be injected into the single editor, plate editor. Uh, what advantages does it have? So that we don't have to inject them in every single editor that we have on the screen. And you don't load a gazillion of CSS in a gazillion of shadow DOMs, right? Because this is how we thought that we can accomplish this. So we will create how it's called, shadow DOM in a gate, right? Not in a gate, in a fence. So we will create a fence, and inside this fence, it will be the editor, the single editor, and we will inject both the CSS UI and the Play UI in that. And at least this is the main idea, and it worked well. The POC that we did in Bucharest, and this is the idea. So effectively, you will have both the theme and the CMS UI, whatever you need for the editor inside the editor. So you will see what you see is what you get anyway. What else? What else? Rob is saying Dante has a nice POC of the block model 3, which does drag and drop differently with buttons. Yes, and we will still have block model 3 in here, but we won't need it. And that's the whole thing. I mean, the per block handlers won't be needed anymore. But we will still use what we learn and what we plan to do in block model 3. In fact, every single piece is governed. So inside, and let me show you, has a block inner container. Can you see that? I think so, right? So the block model 3 still stands, and it will still govern how the block works in terms of widths and in terms of how this relates to the previous block and to the next block and things like that. But the things that we also envisioned of changing the drag and drop and all the handlers, and that became obsolete because we won't need them anymore. And as I said before, I mean, we could have them, but I don't think that we really need them. And people, I mean, thinking in people that are super used to editors, just copy paste. I mean, what they know from 25 years ago, right? And how editors worked back in the day, word processors worked since the beginning, right? Okay. Next question is how about collaborative editing? Okay, getting getting here. Let's talk about advanced thingies. Plate, in fact, the paid version of Plate, because these guys have a community version and a paid version. They have advanced features. Some of these features are still in the community version, but in a light version of it. But they are very interesting, and I think that we can easily integrate them into Plone and use them. One of it is the collaborative editing, and this is also one of the points that moved the decision towards the single editor, because if you want to have collaborative editing and you have to keep track of the changes of every single block in a multi-block environment that is in the screen, it will be extremely complex. And unifying everything in one single editor allows collaborative editing to work right away. Um, we have to work on it, as I said, but the plugin is there, and we have to adapt it to Plone and to use Plone users, and to have being aware of the Plone users Plone users permissions, right? But yes, if you go to the Plate.js site, you could see a demo of it. And yeah, I mean, in fact, it's this site is good if you want to test what Plate is able to do, right? Here is the drag and drop thingy that I was referring to, and yeah, you can drag and drop every single piece of it, which yeah can be fine or not, because yeah, you moved listing here. But one of the things is collaborative editing, as I said. I mean, let's find them. I don't know where it is. What is the demo? Docs, plugins, no, plugins, components, no, samples. Here, collaboration demo. Oh, good, awesome. Well, not working right now. It's not ours, it's theirs. But yeah, I mean, they do have collaborative editing, and yeah, as you can do, yeah, as you can imagine, it does very much the same what Google does when you are collaborating on a document, right? That you can see the cursor of the other people and you can see them writing and things like that. It's powered by a server, a third-party server that is called YJS, as Y, a single letter, and it takes care of all the pops up thingy that are needed to work with that. And yeah, it's one very, very real possibility that we can make collaborative editing work in Plone 7. Another thing that is very interesting is the AI plugins that they have, at least as a template for creating our own plugins that covers suggestions and also a suggestion as copilot. So as you are writing, then you are given with a suggestion of what's the next that you want to type, and then as an ask. So you can ask, okay, I want to write about elephants of Africa, and then create me an essay in here, right? And then following that, also, why not integrate also with our deployment CP, right? So you can tell the thing to create something for you on the fly and then use it on the editor itself. But yeah, I mean, this is also to be seen. Then there are also some other nice things that work right away, but it needs also some integration with Plone users and permissions that could be also comments and review thingy. So you can suggest text as a reviewer, and it saves also into the document structure, and then people can see those reviews also. So yeah, it's comments and suggestions of review suggestions, which can also be very nice to integrate. And then why not emojis and things like that. Let me see questions. Will Volto continue using sidebar-based bloat editing or adopt inline, like plate for fields such as caption and titles? We can do whatever. We can experiment with that. We can see which is the nicer sweet spot for the user. We have the ability of doing that, but there is a but. That is, if you are going in that direction, then you are in the region of making native plugins. So these blocks won't lie in the side of pure Plone plugins. It will lie then in this gray area that will be in the middle. And this is nothing that is bad, but it's something that we have to be also very specific with that, because then we will have to teach people how to do this kind of blocks, which I don't, again, I don't say that it will be wrong, but it won't be the old way of doing things. But we can have the three of them, right? The ones that are hybrid, that is, some parts are slate based and some other parts are Volto based, and we live with that, and it's fine. We have the pure Plone Volto legacy block based blocks, and then we have the pure plate blocks, right? And then we live with those. But yeah, it's totally possible, and we can. It opens a huge window, because it's really handy. I think that at some point, for example, the highlight block, the introduction block, that they lie in this gray area, as in hybrid blocks on that works on the both walls, right? Okay, anything else in the questions? I think for 90% of the user, nothing beats cut, copy, and paste. However, I see the other use cases and requirements. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's something that it can be extended. Maybe a client asks you know what, I'd like the Notion drag and drop thingy, and I love to have it. Then we enable that plugin, because it's just like that. So it's yeah, okay. Now my editor will have that drag and drop plugin, the stock one, and you don't have to do anything. It just works right away. In fact, I only have it disabled in here. We could have it like the one that you see in here. Yeah. Yeah, emotions. Yeah, as in the side of the type of plugins that they have, yeah, it's emojis, whatnot, video embeddings. This one is nice. Audio embeddings. It also is nice. Then maybe at some point, client could ask for them. Indent, outdent, also subscript, superscript, keyword imports. The date plugin is also nice. In fact, we have already requirement for a client that wants this. So it's a small thingy that you can set a date, and it's in line, and that's it, right? Another thing like that I see very useful is that why not having this kind of things for metadata? The content are metadata, and you say slash metadata, and then you select which one do you want to proxy, and then the metadata is proxied to this snippet, right? That will be also very, very useful. So you can put it wherever you want in your page and the metadata. What else do they have in here also? Oh yeah, the highlight could be also nice. This is the comment. Yeah, as you can see here, 5 people commented out, and these are also suggestions. Oh yeah, the table plugin, which also works in here. Oh, it has to work. Ah, yeah. So you can the typical plate thingy. Yeah, we have to start wrapping up. It's 10 minutes left. Anybody have any other question that wants me to answer? Now it's the time. I haven't showed what it looks like. For now, we hide the metadata in this tab. You have all the metadata in here from the content type. This is a Plone site, of course, but yeah, you can modify it. Yeah, this is the title. The title, of course, is synchronized with the one in here, so we are good. And yeah, and bit by bit, working on things. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Next sprint is in Bonn on the May the 16th, right? Through May 20. Is that correct? I think so, right? And yeah, we will be in Bonn. Everybody is welcomed. Yeah, we will mostly work on Plone 7 since Volto 19 is almost finished. And yeah, we will focus on building and filling the gaps and filling the holes, the Gruyere holes that are still in there in 7, and polishing, and try to make things happen as soon as possible. So you are very welcome to attend, even remotely or in person. Yeah. Yeah, another question is, Plate will also solve our limited table cell image handling that we now have in the Volto editor? Yes, because if we are in here, you can say image, and you put an image in there, and you upload that image also, and the image is in there. And you know what? You can, whoops, if I can, and if, yeah, crap. Oh, it's supposed that I can click, and then, well, yeah, as I said, multiple bugs that we have to fix. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we could select it if it allows me. No. Okay. Yeah, I think is that you can easily, yeah, copy paste even in the cells, because of course the cells are also text, right? So you copy over in here, and then you move it to another cell easily. So you don't really need drag and drop. You are a copy paste distance from it, right? Yeah. Yeah, and this is a Plone image. So it's not that it's the image from plates. This is a block image, a full blown block image, right? Another question: how will the new editor work with form-based content types? Well, form-based content types won't have the blocks like it's happening today in Volto, right? We'll only have the content, and then you will see the form, and you will with the field sets, and you will fill the field sets. I don't see that we are going to change that, but we can explore things also as we are exploring with other things. But yeah, in yeah, only a last thing. Maybe Erico, you were referring to the WYSIWYG editor. We can have a field. It's not wired yet, but we can have a field that you can set rich content in there, and not Plone blocks. Or yes, or you can add Plone blocks in that rich text field, and then you use a normal view that it's not rendering blocks, but it's rendering other things, but your inline rich text, it's rendered as a block. So yeah, I mean, a lot of possibilities that opens with the new editor. Yes. Okay. I think, yeah, we should go wrapping up, right? Thanks for attending. Yeah, thanks for attending. See you next week. Next week's session will be about cookie Plone and the new implementations that we were working on in the last sprints also. Don't forget to subscribe and to like, and see you next week.